He walks in. No applause, no cheers, just silence. Eyes lurking, minds calculating. You see, they know you're different. But oh, they have no idea why. They feel it, they sense it. They sniff it out like predators in a jungle. But you're not prey. You're the damn storm hiding in human skin. You're not broken, you're evolved. You're not weak, you're silent strength. You're not antisocial. You're just uninterested in their circus of masks. They wonder why you don't talk like them. Why you don't laugh at their pathetic jokes. Why you don't show up to impress anyone. They whisper behind your back. Who does he think he is? And you know what you are? You are a riddle dressed in rage. The problem is, they only understand noise. And you speak in silence. They want explanation. You give them mystery. They crave validation. You feed them absence. Because when you walk away, they finally feel your power. You see, the average can't comprehend the extraordinary. And that's what you are. Not better than them, just built differently. While they were chasing approval, you were chasing transformation. While they were practicing fake smiles, you were mastering your scars. While they were trying to fit in, you were rebelling quietly, bleeding, healing, training, becoming something more. They know you're different. They just don't know what you've survived. You've seen darkness most of them wouldn't survive 5 minutes in. You've eaten betrayal for breakfast and swallowed rejection like pills. And you didn't break. You hardened. You didn't just evolve. You mutated into something colder, smarter, untouchable. They think you're just quiet, but quiet is a weapon. Quiet is focus sharpened like a blade. And when the time comes, you'll speak once, and it'll feel like thunder. You don't explain your vibe. You let them feel it. Let their guts twist when you pass by. Let them guess. Let them fear. Let them wonder. Because that's your power. Ambiguity is your armor. The truth? You don't belong in their world. You never did. You don't crave their parties, their approval, their spotlight. You're not here to entertain the sheep. You're here to become the wolf. That's what scares them. Your detachment, your solitude, your refusal to kneel. They try to label you. Introvert. Cold. Too intense. But you just smirk, because labels are for the weak who need boxes to feel safe. And you're the storm that shatters boxes. Let me tell you something they'll never admit. They envy you. Your independence, your clarity, your refusal to sell your soul for acceptance. They watch you from the corner of their eyes and wonder, why doesn't he try to fit in? Because fitting in would be an insult to the hell you climbed out of. You didn't survive all that pain just to blend in. You didn't lose pieces of yourself just to be someone's puppet. Number you came out of the fire to stand alone because you earned it. You don't need their love. You don't need their likes. You don't need their permission. You are not lonely. You are sacred. Your silence is a symphony. Your gaze is a warning. Your presence is pressure. Your mind is a maze they will never solve. And that's exactly how you like it. Because the moment they understand you, you'll lose your edge. So stay sharp, stay unreadable, stay unexplainable. The world has enough performers. Be the one who terrifies the crowd just by existing. Be the shadow that makes the light nervous. Be the calm before the chaos. They think you're hiding something, and maybe you are. A rage you haven't released, a vision you haven't shown, a beast you've trained too long in silence. And when you decide to let it out, they'll know exactly why you were different, and they'll wish they treated you differently. But by then, it'll be too late, because you'll be too far ahead, too evolved, too powerful. You didn't come to explain yourself. You came to break the mold, to unnerve the predictable, to challenge the artificial, to reign in a world of gestures with your king-like silence. They know you're different, and soon enough, they'll know why. And soon enough, they'll know why. But that's the beautiful part, isn't it? You didn't force them to notice. You didn't scream for attention. You just walked your path, unbothered, untamed, unreadable. And that right there, that's power. Because real power doesn't beg, it doesn't chase, it doesn't kneel, it simply exists. And everything around it adjusts. You've stopped explaining your silence. You've stopped translating your pain into pity. You've stopped offering pieces of yourself to people who couldn't even hold your shadow. And now your presence is a test, a mirror, a disruption. You don't break rules, you shatter illusions. They thought you were weak because you didn't react, because you didn't argue, because you let them talk while you listened. But that was the trap. You weren't silent out of fear. You were observing, calculating, learning their patterns. And now you've become the chaos they never saw coming. They wanted a puppet, but they got a paradox. They wanted a follower, but they got a ghost with a crown. They wanted you small, but you disappeared and came back unrecognizable. You don't need closure. You don't need explanations. You don't even need revenge, because your evolution is the revenge. Let them underestimate you. Let them sleep on your silence. Let them misread your calm as weakness. Because while they play checkers, you're playing chess in a different dimension. While they celebrate small talk, you're building empires in your mind. While they post for attention, you're plotting for legacy. You are not a phase. You are not a mood. You are not a trend. You are a reckoning. They keep asking themselves, why doesn't he flinch? Why isn't she reacting? What is he hiding? Let them wonder. Because the truth is, you're not hiding anything. You've just grown so far past their games that it bores you. Their opinions, outdated, their gossip, white noise, their energy, too cheap for your frequency. You're not cold. You've just evolved past emotional handouts. You're not arrogant. You just finally learned your worth. And when you stop begging to be understood, you start becoming undeniable. They fear what they don't understand. They hate what they can't control. They target what makes them uncomfortable. So let them be uncomfortable. Let them sit in their judgment. Let them drown in their confusion. Because you don't owe anyone clarity. They had their chance to know you when you were still explaining yourself. When you still hoped someone would get it. When you still whispered your truth through cracked lips and tired eyes. But those days are over. Now you don't speak. You move. You execute. You rise. And every step you take in silence screams louder than their entire existence. Every project you finish in the shadows humiliates their performance in the spotlight. Every version of you that rises from the ashes is a slap in the face to the ones who lit the match. They thought your silence was submission, but it was the rebirth of your savage self. They don't know what you're capable of, not yet, but they will. They'll see it in the way the world bends around your presence. They'll hear it in the way others speak your name with both fear and fascination. They'll feel it in the pit of their stomachs, that creeping realization. We were never ready for this version of them. Because while they were mocking, you were molding. While they were talking, you were transforming. And while they were busy trying to break you, you became something unbreakable. Let them talk. Let them mock. Let them label. Because your silence is not weakness, it's strategy. Your distance is not avoidance, it's self-respect. Your evolution is not an accident, it's warfare. And in the end, it's not your words that will haunt them, it's your absence, your growth, your success. The moment they realize the one they laughed at is now the one they can't reach, can't touch, can't even look in the eyes anymore. That's the moment they'll understand. They always knew you were different, but now they'll finally know why. And by the time they do, you'll be too far gone, too elevated, too unstoppable. You didn't come to fit in. You came to fracture the system that tried to bury you.